My name is Emily Landon, and I help emerging tech companies find the right people to grow their team. But on Wednesdays at 10:30 Central, I help job seekers set themselves up for success in their job hunt, answering questions and auditing resumes. Welcome to Blockchain Brunch, where the coffee is strong, the hiring tea is hot, and we are going to dive into, oh my God, so many things. Jobs that are open throughout the space, jobs that we have open, resume audit. So, hi. Welcome. Good to see you guys here. Give me a GM, say hello, let me know who's in the audience. I'm super excited to help. Again, we do this every Wednesday at 10:30 Central. So welcome back for those of you that come every week, and welcome to my new viewers. Super excited to get started. So why don't we talk about what the crypto recruiters have open? I should have had that ready. Let's pull it up. So one of the things that I want to mention is the crypto hiring market this week is characterized by flight to quality. So while overall job postings are down compared to last week, the industry's heavy hitters are aggressively hiring for specialized roles in AI infrastructure, tokenization, and compliance. So a couple of the roles that we have open, a senior software engineer on site in Chicago. Actually, I'm about to fill that one. A head of product in Toronto on site, a protocol engineer in Nashville, but that one can be remote, and then a senior director of accounting. So again, jobs are, wait, hold on, I'm missing one. Let me pull up the team. Hold on 1 second. We're hiring a senior smart contract engineer. We're hiring a protocol engineer for AMM. So that one's super exciting, fully remote. So if you are interested in that, give me a shout. Let me pull up LinkedIn. All right, beautiful. Here we go. So let's talk about the big the big tech companies of crypto exchanges, the giants. So these companies are currently restructuring to prioritize profitability and AI-led automation. We all know Coinbase. They're hiring a principal machine learning engineer. They are the largest US exchange and developer of the Base L2 network. They are fresh off their $2.9 billion acquisition of Deerbit. They are hiring AI experts to build agentic systems that can execute complex trades and manage risk autonomously. Kraken, they're hiring a head of sales. They are a major exchange expanding into multi-asset trading. They're launching XStocks, a 24/7 platform for tokenized equities. They need heavy hitters to convince traditional investors to trade Apple and Tesla on chain. Good morning, Diane. I'm interested in senior director of accounting. Beautiful. Let's chat about it. Send me a DM. Circle is hiring a principal product manager for TradFi. They're the issuer of USDC and the developer of the ARC blockchain. They've had a 238% growth in job openings this month. So they're building infrastructure for institutional lending directly via USDC, replace traditional bank credit lines. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking. I'm balancing a couple of things this morning, an offer, so bear with me. OKX is hiring a market risk manager, fraud focus. So they're a global exchange and the builder of XLayer, ZKL2. They have 62 new openings this month as deepfake I'm just like really nailing this. As deepfake scams surge in early 2026, they're building defense in depth team to protect high net worth accounts. Let's talk about the plumbing of crypto, the infrastructure, the layer 1s and 2s. So this week, the focus is on chain abstraction, so making crypto invisible to the average user. The Monad Foundation is hiring a technical program manager. They're an ultra-fast parallelized EVM blockchain. So following their mainnet launch, they're hiring for workplace operations in New York City on site to manage their massive new hacker house and ecosystem activation hub. Consensus, we all know MetaMask, the orange logo. They're hiring a staff software engineer and a security platform. So they're the builders of MetaMask. They are hiring identity and access management experts to finalize their 2026 seedless login system for MetaMask. Barachain is a high-performance L1 built on proof of liquidity. They're hiring a marketing lead for Smokey's team. It's an in-person role in Toronto. They need someone to evangelize the brand, both EVM and Cosmos ecosystem, to maintain their cult-like growth. Guys, just to refresh, these are jobs that I found over the last week. It's a little bit on the slower end, but again, these are higher quality jobs that we're finding. So Chainlink Labs, hiring a senior technical writer. They're the industry standard Oracle network, and they have 15 new jobs posted this week. They're hiring writers to document cross-chain interoperability protocol for the surge in big banks using their data. Let's talk about the money side of crypto, DeFi and trading. This sector is moving away from yield farming and towards regulated capital markets. So TRM hiring global investigators for crypto crime. They seem to be hiring a lot of these. So they're a blockchain analytics company for law enforcement and banks. They are the fastest growing Web3 company this week with 400+% growth in jobs. Governments are scaling up 2026 task forces to track AI-driven financial crime. Ondo Finance, they are looking for a Pepsi stablecoin growth lead. So they're the leaders in tokenization RWAs. And with a 17 growth rally this month, they're hiring operators to manage treasury to token pipeline for massive institutional partners. Olivier, good morning. Tyler, good morning. DV Trading is hiring a quant crypto trader, major proprietary trading firm expanding into crypto. Why are they hiring? Volatility in late February has created a massive arbitrage opportunity. They are scaling their 24/7 crypto desk. Fireblocks is hiring a institutional customer support engineer. They do custody infrastructure for banks. They have 17 new openings this week. Every bank with a Bitcoin ETF now relies on Fireblocks. So that's creating a surge in demand for high-level technical support. Hold on. My nose itches. Hold on. Woo! All right. Security, legal, and compliance. The safe careers. So compliance roles currently pay a 20 to 40% premium over traditional tech. Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, Stephanie. Let's talk about Anchorage Digital. They're hiring a compliance QA analyst level 2. They're the first federally chartered crypto bank. And they are one of the few firms with 28 active openings during this, let's call it a hiring chill. They need auditors to ensure their institutional vault meets the 2026 banking regulations. Emily, Miss Walker, good morning. Prakash, good morning. Bitpanda is hiring an affiliate and influencer marketing intern. Love a good intern. They are Europe's leading multi-asset crypto app. They are seeing 158% growth in postings as they push to become the #1 crypto app in the European market. And then CoinFlip, they're a crypto ATM company based in Chicago. They are aggressively expanding their footprint across North America and need local reps to sign up convenience stores and gas stations. So that's what's going on there. So basically, stop applying to Web3 startups and start applying to Web3 infrastructure. So these companies are building the security and data layers, TRM, Fireblocks. They're the only ones with a 400% hiring growth this week. So that's kind of what's going on. It's a slower week, but again, roles focused on infrastructure, compliance, and security and data. So if you are currently looking for a role, that is where you want to target. I feel like I'm just talking so much. Does anybody have any questions so far? I saw a couple comments here. So I'm interested in remote-based roles. Fabulous. I haven't seen any board positions recently, but a lot of that is being done through internal networking. So Emily, make sure that you're connected internally to these companies and kind of dropping those hints, right? Hey, if you're expanding the board, I'd love to be considered. Prakash, I did blockchain for business through EDX. I have 3 years of experience in customer holdings. Currently, I am looking for customer support jobs. Beautiful. I named one earlier today. Stephanie, the marketing role is based in Toronto. If you are in Toronto, definitely give me a shout. And Tyler, software development manager here. I have submitted my resume through your site. Beautiful. Danielle, our candidate experience manager. We'll take a peek at that. If there's a fit, she'll send you over to one of our recruiters and we'll get the ball rolling. Now, one thing I want to mention, guys, we have a very small team at the Crypto Recruiters. We are not able to get back to everybody, though we do give our, we do our best. But with, the influx of candidates that are hiring and the downturn of companies that are searching, it's been a little tough. So want to say thank you really quickly to everybody that's reached out to us about our open roles. I know I've got hundreds of messages to get back to. I am doing my best. So we'll just leave that there. If anybody would like their resume to be audited, Nakash, welcome. Good morning. If anybody would like their resume to be audited or their LinkedIn profile, drop a note. Let me know. My Telegram is at the Crypto Recruiter. So you can send me over your resume. I'm happy to take a peek at it and see where we can make an improvement, right? I think the challenge with finding a job is your resume is the first thing people see, and you don't get to tell the story. We've all got a story. We've all got a career story, why we took positions, why we left positions. The problem is you don't get to tell that story. A piece of paper does it for you. So I think resume positioning is really important because that's how people are judging you. They're looking at your resume and making snap decisions. They're spending 3 to 30 seconds on your resume. That's all they're spending on your resume. So they're looking at the summary, the first sentence of your resume. They're looking at your titles. They're looking at your bullet points of your success points. So you've got to make sure that you are positioning yourself for success in your job hunt. Companies are often, good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Sahil. Companies are often looking for people that come from similar companies. So have a sentence about what the company does on your profile, right? Take in consideration our audience. Who are the people that are reading our resumes right off the bat? Who are the people that are taking a peek? And these tend to be junior recruiters, HR coordinators. These are not usually the hiring managers. So they may not be fully familiar with all the companies in the crypto space. There's thousands. If you did not know, there are thousands of companies in crypto. What I'm getting at is educate the reader. Help them understand, hey, I come from a similar company. I come from a blockchain analytics company. I come from a security company. They're going to make those connections because that way you don't need ramp up time, right? You can jump in day one, get started. You don't need to learn the business. So it is the easiest to find a job that is in the similar industry or a similar company to where you are currently at. Just to refresh for the 20 people in the audience, thank you so much for coming. It's great to see you here. My name is Emily. I'm the Crypto Recruiter, and my job is to help companies staff their teams. But every Wednesday at 10:30 Central, I set aside an hour to help you guys position yourself, answer questions, talk about jobs that I found over the last week. But additionally, if you need some additional help, there is a link in my bio or at the top of my profile that says book an appointment. Feel free to book an appointment. It is free. It's a group call. You're more than welcome to come in, ask targeted questions in case you're not comfortable addressing them here. We usually get anywhere between 5 to 10 people in the room. I also offer one-on-ones, though they're not free, which I hate to say, but I can't have free one-on-ones with 50,000 people. But I do offer group calls twice a week. So I spend 3 hours out of my week supporting you guys in a way that I don't think anybody else is. I mean, I wish they did. But nobody else is, so I'm going to do it for them. All right, we've got some comments. Nakash, I get lots of interviews, but no job offer. I wonder if we could diagnose that a little bit further. Do you notice any challenges, any trends? Are you applying to jobs that are in your area? Are you applying to jobs that are international? Javier, backend developer plus smart contracts engineer. Welcome. It's great to meet you. Anybody have any questions? Anywhere I can make an impact, anywhere I can help. Oh, what a morning. What a morning. We're currently negotiating an offer. One of the trends that I'm seeing in crypto right now is there's a lot of contracts. A lot of companies are moving from full-time to contract. We just had a job that was a full-time opportunity, and last minute, the company decided to offer a contract to hire. That's okay. Things change, but just be prepared. There's a lot of contracts going on rather than full-time hiring. So that's one of the trends I'm noticing. What else can I tell you guys today? Culture. Culture is the biggest reason for turnover. So make sure that, it's interesting. Finding a job is kind of like dating. you're going to kiss a couple frogs, and not every company is going to be the right match. So where you may be super focused on your interest in the job, don't forget, you're going to be working so closely with this team that you need to get along with them. You need to like them. You need to enjoy working with them, because everything in crypto blockchain is so collaborative, especially AI, that you're going to be working so closely with these people. If you don't fit in with the team, if you're not like working on your dream team, you are not going to be happy. Javier, I want to know how important it is to have a GitHub portfolio during the hiring process. Very important. Companies want to see proof of work. So make sure you're contributing to your GitHub and you have it on your resume. Though I will tell you, a lot of people won't click on links on your resume. So make sure your GitHub specifically is not a hyperlinked link. It's a copy and paste, so they can copy and paste the link into their browser. Hope that helps. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Do you like my yellow phone? Always be branding. Always be branding. So right after this call, guys, I do have one of my group calls. We've got 6 people signed up, which 2 people usually don't show up, which is fine. Makes life a little bit easier. But if you are interested in having a more in-depth conversation, you're welcome to book an appointment. But I'm here to answer questions. All right, Nazca. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I really apologize if I'm not. I like contracts. I'm doing both national jobs like USA, but I'm open for relocation. Emily, could you also talk about the job market this year compared to last? Oh, I'd be happy to. Is not great. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you everything is peachy keen. It's not great. But it's interesting, right? How many times have we been in a bear market where everybody does all these layoffs and then 3 weeks later, not 3 weeks, but then we come back from the bear market and then everybody's hiring again? I don't understand, because it's like, we have experience doing this. Like, don't dump your team. You're just going to need them in the future. So I think it's kind of interesting that we've been through this cycle before, yet we would continue to repeat the bad practices. But it's definitely challenging. I would say companies are hiring a lot less. They're expanding job responsibilities. They're cutting. They're just trying to run lean and mean teams, which if anybody loves a good lean, mean team, it's me. But I do think that, one, there's more candidates than there are jobs. So if you are extended an offer and maybe it's not the perfect job, really think about the potential for that opportunity. Because if it's not perfect right now, but it could be perfect in 6 months, you may not want to turn that opportunity down just based on where we're at in the market. Emily, Olivier Pierre, I apologize. What is your perspective in current Web3 job dynamic in the US these days? So, great question. US jobs are being filled by US talent. So companies are hiring locally for a couple reasons. Number one, taxes. It's easier, right? You understand the laws. Payroll isn't complicated. Even though they have these sites like Deals, it's just kind of like a convenient, comfortable factor. 2, time zones. I would say back in 2020, 2021, everybody was hiring in a very decentralized manner. So we were filling jobs in Singapore and Australia and APAC and everywhere. That has changed. So the problem is that someone, there'd be like a 2:00 in the afternoon meeting, and that's 2:00 in the morning for someone internationally, right? So that person would miss the call every once in a while. Makes sense, 2:00 in the morning, but that would slow down business goals. So companies kind of have PTSD about that. So they're hiring within the same time zone. Excuse me. I have companies in Eastern time zone that will not hire out of Pacific, right? And just to clarify, guys, the crypto recruiters, we only recruit in North America. That is where we focus. That's where our clients are. That's where our candidates are. That's where we are. So something that I've taken into consideration this year is work-life balance. Something I have not had for 6 years. And I think a lot of us have struggled with work-life balance over the years and just giving 100%. I always thought, that saying, work smarter, not harder. I was like, why not do both? Optimize. Let's do both. But after 6 years, guys, I'm just tired. So I can't work European hours anymore. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So we focus on the US. I'm just looking. In your opinion, what is the best way to find job opportunities? LinkedIn, external websites, contact directly to recruiters, present yourself. Wonderful question. So in my opinion, when a company posts a job on LinkedIn, they are paying for that job slot. It's not a free job board. So they're making an active investment into their hiring process, right? It's free to post on a lot of these job boards, these cryptocurrency job boards. So I like searching for opportunities on LinkedIn. On top of that, you can set up very hyper-specific LinkedIn job alerts. So it's no more like go to a company, set up a job alert for any job at the company. You have to set up a job alert for a specific title at each company. So I think this gives people an opportunity to really learn more about these companies and pick the industry, the sector that they are most passionate about. So though the notifications have changed, I think it gives you more time to just familiarize yourself with the industry, who's hiring, who's not, what companies are about, what is their reputation, what is their turnover rate. So you can set job alerts in general, but like if you're looking at specific companies, you have to select specific titles. There are a lot of free job boards, and I'm not mad at them. I just feel like anybody can post a job, and I've noticed I hate to tell you this because it's so disheartening, but like I want to be honest. Companies are posting fake jobs, and they're posting it for two reasons. One, branding. It looks like they're growing. It's good for investors. Two, they want to bring more, it has to do with branding, but they want to bring more attention to their brand, new users, right? The thought process is if you apply to this job and there's a sentence, why do you want to apply here? The candidate is going to do a little research into the company and maybe be like, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to sign up for this. So it's unfortunate, but that's kind of what I'm seeing on the free job board. So a little insight to my business development. I search for new jobs on LinkedIn. I look for the jobs that are 2 to 3 months old. That means that they're having a hard time filling those jobs. But I have talked to some hiring managers that have had their jobs open for 90 days. And they've been filled. And there's nothing more frustrating. Why is the job still posted? It takes 2 seconds to take it down. You're getting an influx from candidates. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Work calls. Okay. Sorry, we're making dreams happen over here. We're making it happen, ladies and gentlemen. What was I even talking about? This is where my life is. Okay. Nakash, love your colors in the phone. Thank you so much. Regarding the job market, history repeats itself. Girl, don't I know. Waylon, I like working remote and I'm interested in the blockchain architect, smart contract auditor, developer position. I'm most interested in building out applications on chain, not infrastructure. I love that. Great show. Olivier Pierre, thank you so much for your insights. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. We're trying. Emily, thank you for doing these calls. Absolutely, girlfriend. Happy to help. Javier, I assume there's also a lot of scam candidates. How can we avoid being discarded because they think you're a fake candidate? What a wonderful question. There's a couple ways to do it. So first thing, have 500 plus connections on LinkedIn. Those that have under 500 connections are two thoughts. One, are they active on LinkedIn? I'll get into this in a reason. Two, are they a real profile? Three, do they know people in the space, right? I think knowing people is always beneficial, but let's go back to active on LinkedIn. So as a recruiter, hiring manager, whoever, you can only send out 1 to 200 LinkedIn connects a week. Right? You can only send out X amount of in-mails every month. So you're being thoughtful about who you're reaching out to. So if I'm looking at 2 profiles, One of them is active on LinkedIn, is posting, has 500 plus connections. The other one has 300 connections, no posting, no banner photo. I might spend my time more wisely on the person that looks more active on LinkedIn because they're more likely to get back to me, a better use of my time, a better use of my credit. 2, easy peasy lemon squeezy, LinkedIn recommendations. I love them. LinkedIn recommendations not only validate that you're a real profile, but they validate that you did a good job. Why would someone put their name on your profile if you didn't do a good job? So have a LinkedIn recommendation. But really quickly, you don't want them to just be like, oh, Emily is great. Really enjoyed speaking with her. You need it to be thoughtful. So one of my philosophies is if you want something, make it as easy as possible or convenient as possible for that person to give it to you, right? When you're writing someone a recommendation or a reference letter, it's hard to kind of sit at your computer and be like, what do I write? So write a template for them. Say, hey, Joe Schmo, would you mind writing me a thoughtful LinkedIn recommendation? And they're going to say, yeah, absolutely. And that's when you follow up with, perfect. Thank you so much. I've put together this paragraph. I put together 2 paragraph, not a couple bullet points, but if you must do bullet points, do bullet points. I put this together. Feel free to edit as you want. I just wanted to make this a little easier. They are going to be super appreciative and more likely copy, paste, boom. Okay, we want to go back to how to avoid scam rolls. Wonderful question. Difficult to answer. So you want to look at the company. How big is their growth? Where is the team based? It's really hard to dive into this on a live because there's some things I could say that some people are not going to like to hear. I hate not being able to just be like, here are all the reasons, because like I could be canceled. So look at the company size and look at where the candidates are based. If they're hiring in the US and everybody is not in the US, that could be a sign. Look at the role and responsibilities. Is the big chunk of text at the very top about the company and the job description itself is 2 sentences? That's a red flag. Do they have the job posted in multiple areas? And when I say multiple areas, I mean, are they posting it in the US, Australia, Brazil, all these different places? That usually is the likelihood of they're just trying to get market information. Jesus, some job listings are just data grabs too. Oh, absolutely. That's how they build out their profile. They're not their profile. I want to say that's how they build out their applicant tracking system, but that's not necessarily true because when you apply to a job on LinkedIn, it documents forever that job application. So over the last 6 years, the crypto recruiters, I've probably had like 600 applications. I'm getting about 100,000 a year. So 600,000 applications. That means I have 600,000 resumes. I have 600,000 phone numbers. Now me, I don't abuse this. I don't really call people in general. I'm an introvert. I'd rather text you. Probably shouldn't be that way, but I don't want to bother people. But there are recruiters that will post fake jobs, collect those resumes, call those leaders and say, hey, job is closed, but I'd love to have a conversation with you. By the way, are you hiring? It's frustrating because it just gives all of us a bad name. You know what I mean? It's really frustrating. Wycliffe, you're very welcome. Happy to help. Tyler, I just had a thought and tested it out. Tell me, my friend. Tell me. Telma. Hi. Speaking of tell me, Telma. Hi all. I operate in distributed Web3 and high autonomy technical teams, designing lightweight people infrastructure, minimal governance, and scaling frameworks. I'm exploring opportunities to partner with crypto native projects in a strategic people ops, human system architects way. In your experience, what's the most common people challenge you see crypto projects struggle with when scaling? One, it's knowing when they need a people person. That's number one. A lot of people think, oh, we need the people, we need the employees, we don't need an HR, we don't need people operations. So that's the biggest notice. That's the biggest thing I've seen is people don't realize they need HR. They don't need people operations. I think something that they struggle with when they do hire people operations is actually having them focus on people operations and not being an administrative assistant. So on your resume, on your LinkedIn profile, you need to talk about where you make an impact. A lot of people throw early stage HR into just general admin operations. So you need to show a company, educate a company, hey, when you hire me, this is the result you can expect. All right, I want to talk about Tyler. All right. Greenhouse.io and Workday house a lot of jobs. I just searched Google, site boards, Greenhouse.io, engineering manager, site myworkdayjobs.com, engineering manager, and it works. Love that. Love a good Boolean search. Napoleon, I recently started posting on LinkedIn. Are recruiters more likely to read paragraph form content or bullet form? Bullet form, my friend. Bullet, 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 bullet. It's easier to scan. Even in LinkedIn posting, right? You're struggling with a very short time span, attention span. So you want to make sure your posts are easy to scan. And you know what's a bummer about LinkedIn? Video used to be content is key, and now it's like long form writing. Hate that for me. I love making videos. A part of my content strategy has always been like make people laugh, bring some joy to the industry. Job hunting is a very emotional time. It is very emotional, right? High stress. How am I going to pay my bills? High frustration. I'm not getting any interviews. So I've always tried to make people smile with my content, but I'm just not a good, funny written content kind of a girl. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, you guys know I never text while I'm on the phone. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just got to get this done. All right. One more second. Sorry, I know this is so boring. Look at Emily texting. Not where we need to be. All right. Here we go. Last thing. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. I might have an offer out, guys. That is very exciting. That would be so great. That job has been open for such a long time. Okay, so we are at 11:01 Central, my friends. We have 17 people in the audience. Love this. Love all of you. Thank you for coming. If nobody has any follow-up questions, I'm going to log off so I can navigate this offer a little bit more with this client and this candidate. Got to do what you got to do. We're here to make dreams happen. We're here to make the magic. If anybody needs additional help, link in the bio, book an appointment. You are more than welcome to book an appointment. It is free of charge. It's a group call. And here's the thing. If you join and get your questions answered, more than welcome to hop off. I think a lot of us have the same questions, so it's easy to stay on. It's helpful to stay on and listen to everybody's pain points and struggles. I also offer paid resume audits and paid one-on-ones. I'm so sorry. I would love to do this for free, but I do have a day job, which I have to do to pay my electric bill, which you can see is very expensive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be here next week at 10:30 Central. Check out our open jobs on our LinkedIn page. We'll post Blockchain Brunch later this week if you want to join. Last question. Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining. Hollow's been here like every week. What are the options for juniors in Web3? We don't have impressive results. This is where you need to, I hate this, Gen Z. This is where you need to network. You need to be reaching out to people that have the resume that you want to have one day and start asking questions. Ask if they're taking on mentees. Ask if their company is hiring. Ask if they're taking on, I'll take that call in a minute. Ask if they're taking on interns, right? But I also think LinkedIn recommendations from projects you've done definitely would be helpful. All right, my friends. Good to talk to you. Thank you for coming. I will see you all next week. Book an appointment if you need me. Chat soon.